Hello, welcome to Gen Z Finance. I'm an older Gen Z on the cusp of being a young millennial, documenting my financial journey here on YouTube and over on my Instagram at Zennial Finance. So make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and go follow me over there for more personal finance content. So today I'm going to be reviewing how I conduct a mid-month check-in with my budget. I have listed out these 5 steps, and if you've seen my previous videos, these steps are very similar to some of the steps that I take when I do my monthly closeout at the end of the month. There are a lot of parallels between that, but I'm going to go ahead and share with you how I kind of check in on my budget midway through the month. Now, for this, I am going to be using YNAB, which stands for You Need a Budget. It is the budgeting software system that I use and that you see on screen here. However, these 5 steps will work for whatever budgeting system that you use, whether it's pen and paper, an Excel spreadsheet, another budgeting app. So let's dive right in. So the first step is going to be to reconcile your accounts. So I use the word reconcile because that is the term that YNAB uses, but pretty much what this means is you want to make sure that you have tracked all of your spending and that everything that you have listed in your budget reflects reality with what is actually going on in your checking account and on your credit cards and everything like that. So ideally, you should be doing this at least 2 to 3 times a week, if not every day. But somewhere around the 14th through the 16th of the month, that is the perfect time to double check and make sure that all of your transactions are up to date and that your accounts are reconciled. So you want to keep in mind any pending transactions that maybe have happened in the last couple of days but have yet to fully clear. You do want to enter in those now, even if they haven't fully cleared your account, because that is money that you've already spent. So we'll go ahead and do this for a couple of my accounts. So what I'm doing now is opening up my Chase mobile app. I do put most of my expenses on my Chase credit card, so we're going to go ahead and click into Freedom Unlimited over here. This is where I track all of my expenses on this credit card, and I'm just going to make sure that I've entered everything in. So the last transaction that I recorded is actually the payment to my credit card to pay off the last statement balance. So I'm going to look for that on my mobile app and then just see if there's any transactions after that, and there are. So I'm going to add a transaction. This happened yesterday, and the payee is going to be Amazon. I'm going to put this under other/miscellaneous. And I bought a jump rope, like a fitness jump rope, and this was $10.20. Save. Now I'm going to look at my last couple transactions and see if any of these have cleared. So this $19.69 cleared, this $44.95 cleared, and the $165.82 cleared. So now is my current account balance $256.06, and that is actually not correct. My current balance on my credit card is $266. Oh, and that's because this 1020 transaction has also cleared. So I'm going to clear that. $266.26 is correct. I know my Chase Sapphire Preferred is correct because I haven't had any more transactions on that. The last account I'm going to check is my checking account, just to make sure that I have accounted for any inflows or outflows that might have occurred. And the last transaction that I've entered here is, again, that payment out from my checking account to pay off my credit card, $165.82, and that is the last payment that I have in my checking account. Is my current account balance $2,815.92? It is, so we are all cleared on that. So I'm just going to put a little check mark next to the first step because I have reconciled my accounts. The second step is to check for any overspending in your budget. YNAB makes this very easy to do. I'm just going to look at this available column and look for any yellow or red. So right here we can see that I am overspent by $10.20 because I only assigned $344 into this account and I've already spent $13.64. So I'm going to cover this overspending with this living expenses category here, but then that should take care of the rest of that. So I'm going to mark step 2 complete. The third step is to review my spending so far for trends. So to do this, I like to head over to the YNAB reports. If you're not using YNAB, hopefully you have some other visual kind of tracker that's a pie chart or something like that to kind of help you visualize the data. I find it easier to pick out those trends when you have a visualization. So we are looking at September, so far in September, and we'll look at all of my categories. So far I've spent $1,096.28, but almost half of that, so $500 of that has been to my Roth IRA, so that is all good spending. I spent $450 for my responsibilities, which are my bills, so that it's as normal. And then, so the first kind of category that I'm seeing maybe some concern in is I've already spent almost $75 on my monthly varied living expenses. So in here, this includes health and hygiene. So this was one of my prescriptions. And then I also got some toothpaste and some moisturizer, and then picked up some juice from Publix, and then also that jump rope like we talked about. So I'm just a little bit concerned because it's a bit higher than I would like, but when I actually look at my purchases in this category, I don't have any problems with any of them. All of them were necessary. I needed my prescription filled. I needed my toothpaste and moisturizer, so that's all good. Next, we have giving, $39 so far, and this is just a gift for my mom's birthday, which is coming up in October. And then $32.44 in me, myself, and I. So far I spent $20 in entertainment. I pre-ordered a book, which I'm really excited about. And then only $12.43 so far in dining out. But some questions to ask yourself when you're kind of reviewing your spending so far are you happy with how much you've spent so far? Are there any potentially goal-ruining purchases or trends that you see? What do you think you need to cut out for the last half of the month given your spending so far? So if I remove my investment category, so my Roth IRA, I've only spent about $600 so far. So I'm about halfway through the month and about halfway through my monthly kind of spending guideline of $1,250 a month. I try to spend less than that each month. And I think the only thing I need to keep an eye on is just my monthly varied living. I do know I'm going to have at least one other prescription I'm going to need to fill, so that will increase my health and hygiene category by a bit more. But again, when I look at my actual purchases in there, they're all things that I need and I can't really get away with not spending money on. So for the most part, I feel good about my purchases. Some common categories for you to look at are groceries, gas, utilities, dining out, random or miscellaneous purchases, any shopping or clothing, and then like if you have any kids or pets, look at all of those category spending and just see how you're doing so far and think about, okay, if I doubled how much I spent so far to kind of take into account the rest of the month, is that doable? Is that realistic? Am I spending too much in these categories? So that is step 3. Step 4 is to consult your calendar and move money around as necessary to prep for the second half of the month. So now we're getting into later half of the month. Maybe there are plans that you have now made for these next couple of weeks that you didn't have at the beginning of the month, and you need to start accounting for those and planning for those a bit more with the money that you have. I'm going to look through how much I have assigned in all of my categories and see if I need to move anything around. So with my responsibilities, this is fine. I only should have my monthly subscriptions coming out of here. Under monthly varied living, like I mentioned, I know I'm going to need to refill one of my other prescriptions this month as well. I only have $3.80 in there, which won't be enough. I believe the prescription is about $10, but I'm just going to want to put another $15 in here to be safe. And I'm going to take that from this living expenses holding category. So I'm going to move $15 to health and hygiene to cover that. I still have $15 left in gas, and I think that will be fine. Hopefully I will get some gas for the car later this month, and that should be good since I don't really drive all of that much. I'm not going to plan to put any more in other/miscellaneous. Next, for my spending money, I have $37.57 left in dining out, and I'm just kind of taking an inventory of what I will probably be doing for the rest of the month. Okay, so let me open up my calendar map, and I'm probably going to get food today, which should be covered. And then I don't have any solid plans to see any friends or anything like that for the rest of the month. So whatever is left after I spend money today from the standing out category should be good. Entertainment, again, no other plans. I already pre-ordered the book I want to purchase. And then I don't really know if I'll end up being able to get my hair cut this month. I have $50 set aside for that, which I don't know if I will be able to do this month. If not, I can just try to do that next month. I have more than enough in my donations to cover what I want to give this month, so we're good there. Gifts, we're good. Same thing with family giving. Same thing with investing. Right now I have $120 into my brokerage, and I still have a second paycheck coming in September, so that will probably get me over to what I want to put towards my brokerage this month, so we're good there. Now for my sinking and saving funds, I don't plan to spend anything in any of these categories. Usually I never really plan for it. If something comes up though, I do always have that money available. That's why they're sinking funds and that's why I love them. But yeah, we should be good here, and also just for my savings items because I will just be trying to put money into there and I don't plan to spend anything. We can complete step 4. I have considered how much I'm going to spend for the rest of the month in some of my categories, and I feel like I either A, already have enough money in there to cover what I want to do, or B, I've moved money to that category in preparation for that. Step 5 is to update any goals that you might have for the month if you set any. If you did not set any at the beginning of the month, this is a great time to try to create at least 1 or 2 goals, financial or otherwise, that you want to hit. And I don't believe I really set any strong goals for this month, so I'm going to do that now. I always want to spend less than $1,250 a month. So we are on track for that. Hopefully I can hit that. My second goal is I'm going to want to start jumping rope at least 3 times a week. I used to really enjoy jumping rope when I was younger, and I'm trying to get back into that to kind of move my body a bit more, and it's, you know, a cheap way to exercise. It's also really good for you, so I'm going to try that. And then my third goal for the rest of the month is to donate at least $50 this month. I've been kind of slacking on my donations to charity. I've been really good with like giving to like family or friends with gifts or extra financial support or anything like that. But in my charity donations, I've been a little bit slacking, so I want to try to make that a priority this month. So there we go. I kind of just jotted down down some 3 goals. Some of them are related to finance, some of them aren't. Do whatever here makes sense. Again, if you've already set goals, just check in on them and see how you're doing. Again, keeping in mind what you have reviewed so far in steps 3 and 4, your spending so far and any trends, and then any upcoming spending that you know you're going to experience for the rest of the month, and maybe you need to update your goals to make them more realistic or reachable. All right, so just like that, I can mark this as complete. And there you go. So those are the 5 steps that I take to do a mid-month check-in. Again, I'm using YNAB for this, but this can pretty much work for any way that you budget or track your money. I find it really helpful, like I said, to do this anywhere between like the 13th and like the 17th of the month, depending. And I think this works regardless of when you get paid. If you're getting paid weekly, maybe you're doing kind of weekly check-ins on this. If you get paid bi-weekly like I do, you're probably checking in on your budget as you assign out your new paycheck. But again, I think the mid-month is particularly perfect to go a bit more in depth and review your spending, plan forward for the rest of the month and any new obligations that you might have, and then update your goals as well. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Like I said, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel and check out some of my other videos. As always, I hope y'all are staying safe and healthy and that you have a good day.